Hey guys, what's up? Excoundrel here, and today we're going to be covering tips for grinding trophies in Brawl Stars, and these are my top 10 tips. Now, I've seen a lot of videos out there that say, grind trophies fast, this one weird trick, Brawl Stars will hate you, and it's basically some guys just playing Showdown and saying, this is how you play Showdown. Showdown is really good. I'm going to go against that. I'm going to give you 10 just solid tips to make sure that you're grinding trophies as quickly as possible, because I've just picked up Brawl Stars pretty recently. I've only been playing around a week now, but I have made it pretty far up the trophy ladder in about a week, and that's mainly due to me playing it pretty obsessively, but I'm about 3,500 trophies now. And the first tip that I'm going to give you is make sure you choose the right game modes to grind trophies. If you're really serious about grinding trophies quickly, the game modes are probably the most important thing. Showdown is great when you want to play by yourself and you maybe aren't bothered about playing with your team, or you want to get that slightly higher trophy income from Showdown. But Showdown is a long game mode. It takes a long time to finish the game off usually. And in one Showdown, you can usually have completed 2 or 3 gem grabs, 2 or 3 heists, or 2 or 3 brawl balls. The 3 modes that I would recommend for grinding trophies quickly, especially when you've got a team, is heist, brawl ball, and gem grab. All of which are very quick game modes, and they also help you grind trophies the higher you get. Second tip is try and play with a team or with friends. We've all been in those gem grab games where we end up with a Colt, a Jesse, and a Penny. No one is a gem carrier, no one is a support, and then your Penny decides to collect all the gems and then run it down to the enemy base at the end of the game. We've all been in those types of games. Those can be very, very well avoided if you manage to get together a good, solid team. It doesn't have to be people that you know real life. It could be people in your guild or whatever it's called. I can never remember what they're called. It could be people in your guild. It could be people that you've met playing and you've added as friends. Just find a team that works for you so you can get your composition set before you go into game. That's really important. Tip number 3, know the meta. And what I mean by meta is generally it refers to the strong brawlers right now. So meta is generally just a way of describing what is strong in the current update and what is weak. And that'll allow you to understand where those brawlers are good, which game modes they are the best on, and which of them you can use in your favorite game modes as well. The way you find out about meta is usually either you're a high-level player and you'll just know it from having played multiple matches. You'll read the update notes. For instance, Supercell will often put out in the news tab some little update notes that will tell you that they've put some changes out for Brawlers, or you can go and follow one of your favorite YouTube channels. I would recommend Kairos Time. He does a lot of really good meta updates and generally does tier lists, so he's a really good person to go to check out the Brawl Stars meta. But you can usually find out about Brawl Stars meta online, or you just get it through experience of playing. But just getting an understanding for the strong brawlers is really important, for especially when you get higher up the trophy ladder. Tip number 4, if you are going to buy gems, and as you can see I have, spend them wisely. The most cost-effective way to spend your gems is by getting the 2x 1,000 token doubler. It equates to about 10 boxes for the price of 50. A mega box, however, is 10 boxes for the price of 80. So if you are patient and you want to get the most bang for your buck out of the gems that you earn, always, always, always use it on a token doubler. Tip number 5, make sure you're grinding your low trophy brawlers. Yes, I know, sometimes you've got a Mortis and you're like, I don't really know what I'm doing with Mortis, how do I play him? But if he's at 0 trophies, you are going to get trophies more quickly for him by winning games, and you're also going to lose less trophies for losing games. So if you do lose games, you'll find yourself in a better position because you aren't losing as much because he is a low trophy brawler. So make sure you are not neglecting your poor unused brawlers, and you're not trying to be a one-trick piper, as I know there are so many one-trick pipers out there. But you know, you want to make sure that you're spending time grinding trophies across the board, because not only will it help you climb quicker in terms of your total trophy value, it is easier to get trophies, like I said, for low rank brawlers, and that means it's much, much easier to climb up those thresholds on the overall trophy ladder. It's also a really good way to learn new brawlers. You don't actually lose trophies at the lower levels in this game, so if you've got a new brawler that you want to test out, just being at the low levels helps you because you don't really have any drawback for losing games at that point. And it's another reason why you're going to climb quicker, because you only really can gain trophies when the brawler's at a low level. Tip number 6, I don't know if you saw it, was keep moving. This might sound really obvious, but it's something that a lot of new players, especially my friends, have struggled with when I've tried to play games with them. They are always a little bit confused about the concept of lining those skill shots up while they're moving and just being a little bit aware of what's going on the map. Now, I know most of you will be like, well, that's a really obvious tip, Excoundrel. Why are you telling me that? It's because not everybody knows to do it. Everybody sometimes thinks that it's better to sit there and line up the perfect shot, when in reality, it's much better to keep yourself on the move and try and shoot while you're moving as well. Especially good for ranged, squishy heroes, because if you stand still, you're going to become a target for pretty much anybody in the game. It also teaches you really good practice and gets you into good habits. Moving will help you dodge skill shots, which is, the enemy fire. And moving will also make sure that you're also being a bit more adaptive with your own aim too, and that's also a really good habit to get into when you're playing this game, especially when you're going up against things like Barley and Jess, where if you clump up and don't move, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. So just keeping yourself constantly moving around the map, monitoring what's going on, is a really good habit to get into in Brawl Stars. And although a lot of you will know this, a lot of you will be practicing this on a daily basis, just be very aware of your movements. Think about what you're doing with your movements. Are you dodging left and right for a reason, or are you just moving around to get a view of the map? There's lots of good reasons to keep yourself on the move in Brawl Stars, and it's something that will definitely help you as you progress up the ranks. See, I'm not just showing you showdown games, guys. I'm genuinely giving you some decent-ish advice. Tip number 7, do the ticketed game modes. Now, I know a lot of you probably getting absolutely angry at the current boss mode that's on right now, especially when you're trying to pug it and people just die 24/7, including myself. But ticketed game modes are a really good way to get a small amount of token income. For instance, in the boss mode, if you lose, you get 15 tokens. If you have a token doubler, which is something that's fairly easy to get your hands on if you've got even a little bit of gems, you're going to get 30 tokens just for losing the boss game mode, which means one ticket translates into 30 tokens with the token doubler. That means if you lose 10 boss game modes, you're going to get yourself 3 Brawl crates, which isn't a bad consolation prize. And if you win, you get those token doublers even more. So just make sure you're using your ticketed events, because those tickets don't really do anything else other than be there for those events. And these events are a really good way to get good rewards and also unlock yourself more power points for your brawlers. Alright, tip number 8, learn game mode tactics. I was struggling with this for quite a long time. One of my guild mates called Geodoc basically taught me how to play gem grab, because I was essentially just running it down the middle of the map, trying to kill people over and over again. He was like, no, you take the left-hand side, the other guy take the right-hand side, we're going to have a gem carrier, which is me in the middle. So you've got to learn those game modes. It'll also help you understand meta lists a little bit more, especially those ones that I showed you in another video from Kairos time. Basically, every brawler has a specific role in certain game modes. For instance, in gem grab, you generally have an aggro, a support, and a gem carrier, and they often control different areas of the map. So the gem carrier is the one that collects all of the gems, then backs out when it's time to keep them safe. The aggro looks to put pressure on the enemy team, and the support is there to support your gem carrier, I think, for the most part. So it's all about learning those game mode tactics. As soon as you start to learn game mode tactics, you will definitely become a little bit more confident in the way that you're playing these games, and actually you'll have the edge versus a lot of the players that don't take the time to invest the learning into these specific game modes. Tip number 9, play a lot. And that's going to sound so obvious, and it absolutely is, but you have these tokens available to you when you play on a regular basis. You're also going to get tokens for ranking up, you're going to get tokens for leveling up, so just by playing a lot, you're going to naturally benefit and get yourself more rewards over time. So it is a really, really good thing just to be a very active player, and if you're very serious about climbing trophies quickly, just making sure that you are playing almost every day for a set amount of time, just making sure you're getting all of those daily rewards available to you is really important, because it's going to maximize your ability to climb those trophies. And the more you play, obviously, we hope, the more you're going to win, and then therefore the more you're going to win, the more trophies you're going to get. And finally, at number 10, this is something that I made an entire video on. Don't be a one-trick. You cannot physically climb that high in Brawl Stars as a one-trick. I'm sure you could get that amount of trophies on a singular brawler if you spent that much time doing so, but you are going to face a lot of resistance, and unless you are God's gift to Brawl Stars, you are, at 500 trophies plus, going to start to face up against some very good people, which is going to limit your trophy income. By playing on lower trophy brawlers and trying to evenly spread out your trophies across the board, you're going to play against lower tier players, you're going to grind those trophies more easily, and you're going to more holistically increase your trophy total in general. It is fine to like a singular brawler and play that brawler a lot, and I'm looking at you Piper mains, that's why I put a Piper clip in there. However, it's going to limit your trophy income if you try and do that all the way through your Brawl Stars career. So, quick overview of the tips. 1. Choose the right game modes. Brawl Ball, Heist, and Gem Grab, especially if you've got a team, is really good way to quickly generate trophies. Learn the meta. Spend gems wisely, specifically the doublers. They are a really good way to make sure you maximize your income. Grind out your low trophy brawlers because there is very little drawback for losing games on them, and it's a good way to generate a decent amount of trophy boost. Keep moving. Always keep moving on the map. Make sure you're dodging skill shots, learning the enemy range. Everything that you can do while you're moving is important. Use your event tickets. Play the ticketed events. They're just good ways to get rewards, and you're not going to use your tickets for anything else. Learn the game mode tactics, especially for Gem Grab, for instance, but every game mode's got its own tactics. Go and learn them from your favorite content creators. Play a lot of Brawl Stars, and also make sure that you are not being a one-trick. You don't want to be a one-trick brawler. Right, I hope these were useful. This wasn't just me playing Showdown, and I hope you guys have a good time grinding those trophies out there in Brawl Stars. I'll see you soon.